no reason for me to ever go back. I do this work because it's my passion. And I know that change is possible. Change is possible in me. I told you that I was on disability for many years, relying upon one check, needing stuff, falling short, and knowing that I can't do no more, just making sacrifices to live my life the best I could. And now doors are opening for me. I travel, I speak. I'm not afraid to tell anyone my story, because if I can change one person's life, it's worth it. And I lived many years homeless, not because I wanted to, because when you're in jail, there's supposed to be discharge planners. There's supposed to be people to help you set up to go right into a rehab or to a house. And generally, it would sound good while I was incarcerated, but on my release date, and I would go to these places, they would look at me like, who are you? And I thought application was there for me. So I had to always go back to what I knew, and that was the streets and drugs. And I'm not saying that my life was bad, homeless. It's just not a good thing for a woman, because more than anything, I was fearful of being violated. I was afraid to go to sleep because I thought that someone might have raped me or might have wanted to rape me. A home is important, because when you come home from jail, when you get clean, you get clarity, you want to do the right thing. But people have to be there to help you go from one part of your journey to another part to another part. And when I see the work, you saw the outside, and you saw a little film of us, but it's a very small organization, and we do powerful, powerful work. We changing lives in that organization. And I'm telling you, it changed me. I'm in my own apartment. I have my own car. I'm living my life. I have a little bit of money, not a lot, but I got a little bit of money. It's mine. And I'm living the best life. When I celebrate a birthday, I celebrate another day alive. Free from the use of drugs, being a responsible person, and showing up when I'm supposed to show up. And to me, that's a blessing. A home is so important to somebody. This house, even just for the women to hear about it, I can't tell you how excited they was on the phone call. You get in the house? Oh my God, I want to go. Because they know how badly it's needed. You guys in Suffolk County, if you don't have a car to navigate from one place to another, you can't get anywhere. So they usually go back to what they normally been through, and that's not generally a good life. Not when in their heart they really want to change. So that's my story. And any questions you want to ask me, please feel free.
Thank you, Pam. And I just put in the chat for all of you a link to our website if you want to check us out. We're a nonprofit, we're tax deductible, and we actually received a $100,000 grant to start us towards the $600,000, which is our goal. That is by Susan Burton, who was just exonerated. She's in California and has a bunch of agencies that have houses for women there. And so she reached out to us and said, you know, we really need something for women on Long Island. So homelessness is a huge issue. And for women coming home, it's even harder. So I guess I'll turn it over to Danielle to share a little bit about, I know in the jail today, she was in the middle of running her program with the women, and they were like, close it down, COVID precautions, we're sending everybody out. And the woman said, oh my gosh, Danielle, you're the only person we see every week on a consistent basis to encourage us and give us parenting workshops and health workshops and reentry planning. So today was tough, but I wanted Danielle to share a little bit about her role.
I'm so glad that everyone can make it on the call. It's nice to meet other women and that are interested in the work that New Era does. So thank you. So I am responsible for, as Serena mentioned, the 13 programs, the jail-based programs. I'm responsible for most of them. I am in each jail once a week. So Nassau, then the 2 jails in Suffolk County, Yaphank and Riverhead. And I offer parenting, which is highly coveted. Many women who are mothers, very often they're mandated for programming, for parenting, to get a parenting certificate. So that is that they need to bring to the judge and show them that, you know, they did the work. So we offer parenting, and then which is all equally as important is discharge planning, or I offer actually reentry planning, which is our group programming to prepare our women for coming home. And that work starts really as soon as they meet us. As soon as we meet them, the work starts. You think, oh, well, reentry planning is for people that are on their way out the door. Well, that planning needs to start because it starts with your thoughts. It starts how you think. And if you once you're able to focus on the important goals that are in your life, that takes a while. And so we begin that work, and we do so in the hopes that once a woman is not no longer incarcerated, that they'll make that choice. Hey, New Era worked with me while I was on the inside. Let me check them out. And the women that do come and re-engage with us once they're home, we have found that we have a 2% recidivism rate, which is phenomenal compared to women that don't participate in our program, where it's probably in the high 70s or 80s as far as their recidivism rate. So we make a difference. The other program that I run is the Emerge program that Pam mentioned. And that is our reentry leadership and advocacy program. So we started that program back in the fall of 2018. We offer it twice a year in March and September. And we bring to the women other successful women and most of the women that present at Emerge have been incarcerated themselves. They've come home, they've created a new life for themselves. All they need is help and support and acceptance with lack of judgment. So the Emerge program helps quite a bit in the sense of creating that sisterly bond. You're in a room with other women that have been incarcerated like yourself, so there's no judgment. You can be extremely close to your family, but the women in Emerge, they're sisters, and they understand when someone says, I've experienced trauma while I've been incarcerated, they understand what trauma means. Because trauma is it's a small word, but it's huge in the implications, especially for women. So we consider that extremely important, because once a woman's able to get over trauma that happened to her as a result of being incarcerated, they're just about ready for anything. But it takes a while. It takes love and care and diligence, and we give that to our women through the programming. So once they kind of go through Emerge, which is about 15 weeks, they're ready for other things. Like, what else do we do? So we're actually putting together. We just had a financial wellness training over the weekend, which was highly attended, and our trainer talked about entrepreneurship. So that's a totally new concept for women that have been previously incarcerated. As far as their thinking, there's lots of entrepreneurs. Actually, Serena knows many of them that have started their own business and that they're self-sufficient. And so that's what we teach our women, to be self-sufficient, so that you can leave your past where it belongs, in the past. And it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of diligence, but we all have the passion for this work. You cannot do this kind of work and not have the passion for it. And we all have that deep-seated passion for it. And we're all super excited about the possibility of us having our own house to offer many more big things.
Yeah. Thanks, Danielle. We wanted to give you all a chance to ask us some questions. We've been doing a lot of talking, and I will just briefly say that, I was incarcerated at 19, and when I came back to Long Island, there wasn't anything like New Hour 20 years ago. And to have the space now, I had a woman call me just this morning. We helped sponsor her kids for summer camp. In fact, Francine, one of the little girls, went to the house, in Huntington over the summer. and had a fabulous time. Not this summer, obviously, because of COVID, but last summer. And her mom is home. She sold drugs and she spent almost 10 years in prison. And so she's never gotten to know her mom. And her mom called me today and said, I'm gonna come to the office Monday and I need to find a job. And we've got a bag of, shampoo and conditioner and soap and a gift card. But I wish I could say to her, I have a space for you to stay for 6 months. I have a safe space that has beautiful furniture and a nice space that isn't, rented out from a slumlord with no furniture and where people are using drugs in the halls. I have a space for you. And I can't say that to her yet, but hopefully with all of your help, support, and sharing what we're trying to work on, we plan to build a house in the next year. So we are on a fast track. We're modeling the safe housing project model, which is a model that is rolled out by Susan in California. And I spent some time in February before the pandemic to be trained on that model. And so we'll have a caseworker on site, we'll have yoga classes and meditation, we'll have a social worker who will work to help each woman understand how they can then get on their feet, because this is not come to the house and stay here forever. This is your launching point, after you've gotten on your feet. And we'd love to be able to offer that to women. So does anyone have questions or comments or thoughts?
This isn't so much of a question as just sort of a piggyback point, if you will. First of all, thank you for everyone who called in and took the time to do this. I know everyone's busy and we're coming in on a holiday week, and 5:30 is sort of a tricky time of day for some people. So I really do appreciate it. And so I know Francine does too. In listening to a lot of this, I have to think of a buzzword that I think we've all become much more familiar with over the last several years, which is the word privilege, right? So I have learned over the last several years that privilege means a lot of things. And it doesn't necessarily always mean monetary privilege, right? It's the privilege that so many people grow up with, that is the privilege of being given the benefit of the doubt. The privilege of having a family member who's going to be there and pick you up if you screw up. I think about the number of times I screwed up in my life that could have gone south. And I had a dad or a mom who would show up and pick me up and bail me out of whatever situation it was. I had friends that were supportive of me no matter what. And that, to me, in life is the true privilege, is having that kind of support system. And there are so many women who get into tough situations and they don't have that. They don't have that true privilege. And so that is what struck me so much when I learned about New Hour, is sort of understanding and kind of having this like new awakening, if you will, over the last several years of what my true privilege is, and how many people don't have that, and how hard it can be when you don't have that. And so in listening to, Serena and Danielle and Pam just talk about their experiences and all they have given to the program, I think it's really striking to kind of compare what many of us have enjoyed throughout our life, which isn't necessarily financial privilege, though that is also there, but the privilege of knowing that, like, when you fall down, there's going to be someone there to pick you up. And so many of these women don't have that. And it just really is a huge impact to be able to know that you have somewhere to turn that can help pick you up, and there are so few places that do that. So that's just kind of my own 2 cents about the whole thing.
I love your 2 cents. And I'm noticing that almost everyone is muted. So perhaps if they want to speak, they have to unmute.
How do you do that?
You're unmuted. And just piggybacking on what Meredith said, I think that on Long Island, the kind of big elephant in the room is what I saw when, I'm Puerto Rican, but when I was incarcerated, 80 to 90% of the women there are women of color, Black women. And, it is not that Black women commit more crimes. It is who has access to money to afford the kind of, you know, the kind of alternatives that some others are afforded. And so we're living in a time where we're thinking about, like, what does our privilege look like? And the truth is that most of our women live below the poverty line. Most of them may not have all of the access to resources. And so this ability to give a safe, stable place gives them time to really develop who they want to be and have that second chance.
I have a quick question. I'm sorry. Where you were mentioning how there was a woman in California that kind of came to you guys and told you that this definitely needs to be something that happens or is a part of Long Island. Is like California your other location, I want to say? Are there other like locations of this? Just because I've spent almost 4 years in North, I know how horrible the homeless population is. I've seen the women incarcerated. They have one of the highest rates of incarcerated people in general, not just women. Horrible homeless situation. I was just wondering, like, where else is this located? Because this is a very valuable asset to have in any type of county or city. I was just, if there are others.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we collaborate with nonprofits throughout different states, and California has one of the highest rates of people of folks who are incarcerated. And so, you know, when we reached out to Susan, we brought her here to visit the jail, meet the women in the jail. She's an author, Becoming Miss Burton, and so she read from her book. And we've just continued to talk. You know, I've been in this work for a little over 17 years now. And one of the things that I recognized quickly is that there were no resources on Long Island for women who have been incarcerated. And so outside of New Hour, there are domestic violence services, but there are not necessarily spaces that are safe for women to really say, hey, I was in jail or prison. And you know, I think we've got a long way to go to debunk the stigma, because once somebody, you know, we say to all of our women, just like me, you do your time, you're accountable for wrong decisions, for bad decisions, for people harmed, but then what's next? Once you leave that facility, how is it that this is still following you the rest of your life and you're not able to really stabilize? So the financial wellness piece is so important. We've had women, they've never had a bank account. They never knew how to open a checking account. There are so many things that we sometimes take for granted that many of our women have not experienced. And so, you know, we definitely are excited about this next step. And that's such a great question. I love that you are thinking about this. Somebody has their hand raised. It says iPhone, but I don't know who it is.
And they're muted. I see there's a mute thing on the iPhone.
That's good.
So Francine, hi, it's Risa. I'm curious, once you, the funds are in for the house,
Risa.
Do you have a designated area for where the house is to be built? And is it a multi-family house to accommodate a number of people?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Do this.
So yes, we are hoping to build the house either on the premises of Sisters of St. Joseph's in Brentwood. That's where our office space is, and they're wonderful in terms of supporting us. We wanted women to be close to our office, to be able to walk if they are not able to drive because they've had their license suspended, or if they don't have a car. We wanted them to be close to public transportation, right, and to our space for support. And, you know, we're looking to really either build a house on a piece of property that the Sisters of St. Joseph's would give us or rent to us, or we could even purchase is an option. Or we're looking for a house that, you know, could be renovated, that we could buy in the area here. So any ideas and connections and thoughts?
That would be Risa.
No, great. It's just so cute. How many women would be able, like, what's the plan as far as, or it's in its pregnant stage?
Yeah,
how many?
Our model for this is to scale very clearly, intentionally small. So we'd like to have anywhere from 5 to 7 women in the initial house. And this is intentionality that comes with the safe housing project that we're partnering with. So part of the creation of this house is the technical support from Susan and her team. We're under $500,000 agency. She's a multi-million-dollar agency. And so her consultants are working with us to make sure that, you know, we start with a smaller group of women, and that, you know, what often will happen is once women stabilize, they may want to get their own private space. They may, you know, be able to have a job that can pay rent and they move on. So we're hoping that we can give this opportunity to a smaller group of women to begin with. And because we already work with so many women in the jail, we'll have an application process and a vetting process to really say, you know, is this the right fit for you? Because there are women who may be, you know, high needs, and this may not be the best space for them if they've got serious mental health issues. So there's certainly a sort of framework around what would, you know, what that application process would look like.
In case we want something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Any help from the powers that be, from local government or even
Yes.
Are there any programs that?
Yes, so there are capital grants that we're in the process of applying for through the county, and we work really closely with lawmakers. So we are always, you know, kind of thinking about how do we connect, and is there asset forfeiture land? Is there this? Is there that? But ultimately, you know, our goal for our individuals across Long Island is really to bring to the table across Long Island who are willing to donate, you know, up to 60 to 100,000 to say, like, here's what Long Islanders care about. This is why we are here doing this work. And so every $20 is doubled by Patty and George Krause. And so we're really looking to hit that goal in terms of our total number of donations received. So we're aiming high, and we're also supplementing with grants. So there will be some capital funds that will go into the house. But, you know, part of this is sustainability and awareness and telling people this is something we're doing. Many people don't know who we are, never heard of us, and don't know why this is important. So, you know, we put in the chat a flyer, and there's a donate button there you can kind of link to. And I'm just going to share a screen with you quickly before we run out of time. This is on our website. There's a little QR code here to make a donation now if you'd like. And this is all on our website, www.newhourli.org/donate. And so you can definitely check us out there. And we just so appreciate you guys taking time to talk and hear from us. I know it's a tough time of day, and there's so much everyone has going on. So really appreciate you all, and really appreciate Francine and Meredith for making this possible. And hope you're drinking. I don't see any drinking. I hope you are.
They are.
We are. But I have to say, Serena, thank you so much for this, because as Francine said, this is an interesting demographic that, you know, I've never really thought of. We're not really aware of so much, and it's nice to bring this to the forefront and to light is women, you know, women to help women, which I feel like all really love to do. You know, women with women and children, their children. So I really love this, and thank you for, you know, thank you Francine and Meredith for, you know, bringing it to our attention, you know, which
yeah, I agree.
It's great. I love the cause. I love it.
I've never really had a topic like this come up for me either. So that's kind of just something also to really, it kind of brings to new light, like a different type of,
yeah.
I don't know,
And I think it's so awesome that you and your mother are sitting there. I'm just looking at you guys. I'm like, wow, that is so awesome.
Yeah, she really,
but you take
really
it off. That's so beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
can't watch.
It's a blessing to get to an age where you can drink with mom, right?
I'm turning 22.
All right. That's right. You're of age. But to chill out with mom is a great thing, you know?
And we so appreciate, you know, one of the things that we found doing this work is you always think that people are going to judge or have sort of, you know, closed doors. And what we found is so many people, when they hear about the work we're doing, are so willing to support and engage. And so for us, you know, every dollar counts, but also every time you can, you know, check us out on Facebook and tell your friends about us and build that sort of community, because I think that, you know, we want community. We all feel better when we have, you know, each one teach one and take care of ourselves and help each other. And, you know, like Mary is, you know, you've got your daughter in this. I try to bring my son to everything.
She does.
Hates it, but
That's how she is. She likes to bring me, she wants me to be at every type of
everything.
Yeah.
That's awesome, because, you know, women are going to change the world. We've done it already, and we're going to do big things. So women from all walks of life, we're going to change the world. So you all keep doing what you're doing.
Together.
Absolutely. Together. You can't do it without us doing it together. Yes.
Well,
thank
you.
And thank you.
What's the young lady's name? Her last name is Stanley, I think. This one.
Oh, that's me. Hi.
Meredith.
I so appreciate your honesty. Really, I appreciate that. No, really. Most people don't talk the way you do. You were very honest about privilege and all that. And, you know, I appreciate that. I learned a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for being honest about your story too. It's really helpful. And it's wonderful to hear. And we're just appreciative of everything that New Hour is doing, and you all taking the time to kind of educate us on it, and also of everyone who called in. So thank you all.
Have a blessed Thanksgiving. You enjoy family. If you have the opportunity, enjoy your family.
It's a great
You
hour.
too, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
have a great night.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Oh.